Hello everyone, how are you all? Am I audible to all of you? And the screen is visible too, please let me know. Is visible too, please let me know. Okay. Hi Neha, how are you? Welcome to Unacademy. Unacademy Live CA Final YouTube channel. Today I am little bit not well, so there may be a little bit down in my energy level. So please forgive me if you find my energy level little bit down because I'm suffering from a fever. But as we can't compromise on the classes, so that's why I'm taking the class. As we can't compromise on the classes, that's why taking. So I'm waiting for others to join. Let's wait for another 5 minutes. In the 5 minutes, we'll start with the session. So if you have any kind of doubts relating to previous session relating to RTP discussion 1, you can ask me right now. I hope you might have gone through the discussion part 1. This is discussion part 2. So in the discussions part 1, we have already covered all the 12 MCQs. The integrated MCQs we have covered. Yes, we have covered the integrated MCQs. We have covered the 5 case law scenario MCQs also, and we have covered also the 2 separate MCQs. So in case you have any kind of doubt relating to previous session of RTP discussion part 1, then you can ask me at any point of time. I'm available right now. So it's 5:26. In the another 4 minutes, we are going to start with the live session. Little bit of low energy today, so please bear with me if you find that I'm not that much energetic in the class. Yeah, Neha, I tried my level best. I had a word with the authorities of Unacademy. So they are asking me like now up to 30th September, I have to continue like this only from 1st October because the schedule is already posted. From the 1st October, maybe they will allow me to come at 5 o'clock. Yes, 5 to 6 will come. Don't worry. I have considered your request and I have already forwarded your request to Unacademy as well. Hi Ratna Kumari. Good evening, good evening. I hope you understood my point, Neha. Yes, up to 30th September, it will be little bit 5:30 to 6:30 only. After that, I'll start posting it from 5 to 6. Don't worry at all. I have considered your request and I've already forwarded this to the Unacademy authorities also. So another 2 minutes are left and then we are going to start today with the descriptive questions of RTP, right? So let me tell you one thing, in the RTP discussion part 1 and in the RTP discussion part 2. In the part 1, I have discussed all the MCQ questions, and in the part 2, I'm going to discuss today all the descriptive questions. Now, some might be thinking that, sir, what about the 4 amendments which are there in the beginning of RTP? Now, those 4 amendments which are there in the beginning of the RTP, I'm going to discuss it separately as an amendments. Are you getting the point? Amendments to the CA final auditing applicable for November 2020. So that video also will be posted, where we are going to understand the 4 amendments. That is the amendment in the definition of government company, amendment in audit committee and corporate governance relating to what if the statutory auditor of the listed company resigns, then amendment relating to networking of members in practice in case of professional ethics, and amendment relating to section number 132, that is called NFRA, National Financial Reporting Authority. Just wait for that separate video. It will be coming to your end in a separate way. So in the RTP discussion 1 and RTP discussion 2, I'm only going to discuss the MCQs, which I have already discussed in discussion part 1. And today in the discussion part 2, I'm going to discuss the questions with all of you. Hi Raghu, how are you? Hello everyone. Okay, so let us start. Let us start now. So everyone, let us start with the descriptive questions which are there in your November RTP 2020. Now the two rules before starting the class. What are the 2 rules? There are 2 rules before starting the class. Before starting of a class, there are 2 rules. What is rule number 1? Patient reading. What is the rule number 1? Patient reading skills. You all are going to have a patient reading skills with me. Are you getting the point? You all are going to have a patient reading skills with me. Clear? Plus, you all are going to participate in comment box. You are all are going to participate in the questions. Are you getting the point? So CA providing tutorial services more than 25 hours in a week, special permission required or not? Please clarify. No. If you are providing more than 25 hours in a week, if you are providing, special permission is required. But within 25 hours in a week, if you are providing, then special permission is not required. I think there is an MCQ also relating to that. Let me show you that MCQ also. So there is one MCQ. I think in the MCQ number 1 only, if you will see that, if you see the case number 3, now Mr. S was providing the teaching to one of the Mr. student called Tarak, and I already clarified over there, and I shown you the ICAI material also. If you'll see the ICAI material, up to 25 hours in a week, if you are providing the tutorials, private tutorship, then in that case no permission required. But more than 25 hours a week, then it is required. I hope I'm clarified to you, Ratna Kumari. Yes. Do you want me to show you the ICAI material again? I can show you the ICAI material also for that thing. Ratna Kumari. Yeah, yesterday part 1 I already shown you. So let's see ICAI material also. Let's go to the clause number 1. You can see that this is ICAI material. Clause number 11, part 1, schedule 1 of CA Act 2000, CA Act 1949. You can see over there. Now see, page number 18.69. Everyone, page number 18.69. Read this paragraph. Page number 18.69. Read this paragraph. Right? So page number 18.69 in our ICAI material, professional ethics, such general and special permission granted is subject to the condition that the direct teaching hours devoted to such activities taken together should not exceed 25 hours in a week in order to be able to undertake the attest functions. Are you getting the point? So up to 25 hours in a week if you're providing, then there is no problem. More than 25 hours in a week if you're providing, you have to take the special permission under regulation number 191. I hope everyone is crystal clear. I hope everyone is crystal clear. You know that our formula is CC. If you really like the video, if you really think that it is worth full discussion, please hit the like button. Okay. Right. I hope your doubt is clarified, Ratna Kumari. Now let us go to the descriptive questions. Let us go to the descriptive questions today without wasting the time. And I already told you, Okay, in this class we should have the two rules. What are the two rules? You should all have the patient reading skills and all are going to participate in the comment box, right? All are going to participate in the comment box. Now let us start. Let us start. Now the first descriptive question in front of you, everyone. The first descriptive question in front of you. MEA Limited. What is the name of the organization? MEA Limited. MEA Limited is a listed company having its operation across India. So its operations are across the India. MEA Limited appointed Mr. XYZ as its joint auditors for the year 1920. So Mr. X, Mr. Y, Mr. Z, the three different chartered accountants have been appointed as a joint auditor. After making sure that all of them are qualified to be appointed as a statutory auditor, MEA Limited issued engagement letter to them. Which letter to them? Engagement letter to them. To quickly please reply, when you see the word called engagement letter, what is the first thing comes to your mind? Which standards on auditing comes to your mind? SA 210 comes to your mind. What comes to your mind, everyone? SA 210 comes to your mind. Write in the chat box whether SA 210 comes to your mind or not. Yes. Now in the SA 210, what is being written? SA 210 written that in the audit engagement letter, scope of the auditor must be written. Let me write it here. So we are doing the question number 13 part A. So question number 13 part A. Obviously this question is relating to SA 210. Am I correct or not? Now let us see what the other things there in the question. So after reading the full question only, we'll come to the conclusion. Is there something wrong in this question or is there something right in this question? Now let us understand. But Mr. X, one of the joint auditor, was not clear on some points, so he requested MEA Limited to slightly change in the terms of his engagement. This change will not impact the ultimate opinion on the financial statement. The engagement letter contains the details of objective, scope of audit, responsibilities of an auditor, identification of framework applicable, and it also includes the reference to the expected form and contents of the audit report. In your opinion, what was the discrepancy in the audit engagement letter issued by the MEA Limited? Now listen to this very carefully, guys. Let me take you to the tour of SA 210 for a time being. What is SA 210? SA 210 refers to agreeing to initial engagement terms. Agreeing to initial engagement terms. Am I correct or not? It is also known as audit engagement letter. Now in the audit engagement letter, remember one thing. In the audit engagement letter, there should be scope of audit should be written. In the audit engagement letter, scope of audit should be written. That is already written. Role and responsibilities of an auditor should be written. Sir, that is also mentioned in the letter. Right? Objective of the audit should also be written. Sir, that is also mentioned in that letter. Form and content of audit report. Form and content of audit report should also be written. Sir, that is also written. So scope is also written in the letter. Role is also written in the letter. Read the question carefully. Objective is also written in the letter. And form and audit report is also written in the letter. And the applicable financial reporting framework, whether they comply or not, that also should be written in the letter. But there is one thing missing in this letter. What is that? Responsibilities of management also should be written in this letter. As per SA 210, this point should also be mentioned. This point should also be mentioned in what? Audit engagement letter. Now let us read the question again and whether this point is mentioned or not. Now look at the question again, everyone. Look at the question again. See, in this letter, in the audit engagement letter contains, now what is written? Audit engagement letter contains what? What does it contain? Now see, it contains objectives, it contains scope, it contains the responsibility of the auditor, it contains identification of framework applicable, it also contains the form and content of audit report. But what is missing, everyone? Management responsibility is missing. What is missing, everyone? Management responsibility is missing. I hope all of you are agreeing to my explanation. Management responsibility is missing or not? So tell me one thing, whether Mia Limited comply or did not comply? Did not comply completely. Responsibility of the management is missing. I hope every one of you is crystal clear relating to question number 1. Everyone is crystal clear relating to question number 1. This is the explanation for the question number 1. This is the explanation for the question number 1. Is there any discrepancy? Yes. Yes. There is a discrepancy. Yes, there is a discrepancy. What is the discrepancy? Because as per SA 210, responsibility of management should also become a part of what? Audit engagement letter. This is what you have to write in the examination. I hope all of you understood. Sir, how to write in the examination? What should be our presentation skills? Don't worry. For that, I'll be definitely making a separate video on that. I will making a separate video on that. I hope all of you understood. All of you understood the concept? Yes, sir. We understood the concept, right? CC, if you all understood, hit the like button if you understood, and share this video to the maximum of your friends if you think that this video is worthwhile to be watched, right? And I welcome you all again to the Unacademy platform. CA final, all my classes are going to be in the English. Every day 5:30 to 6:30 I'm going to come live. One day on Unacademy platform, one day on YouTube, alternate days. So today if I'm coming on 20th September, next YouTube session will be on 22nd September. But tomorrow again 5:30 to 6:30 I'll be coming online on Unacademy platform. Right, everyone? Shall we move to the question number B? Give me the green signal. Shall we move to the question number B? Yes? Yes. So ENN Limited. ENN Limited. Which company? ENN Limited. What is the name of the company? ENN Limited is availing the services of APP Limited for its payroll operations for 65% of the toll. Now, directly one thing should come to your mind. ENN Limited is availing the services of APP Private Limited. So don't you think that it is an answer of SA 402? Is it a question of SA 402? Yes. Who is the user entity? ENN Limited is a user entity. Am I correct? Now, APP Limited is what? AP Limited is service organization. So, user entity using the services of a service organization. That is what 402. Now, what they are saying that APP Limited has provided type 2 report as specified under 402 for its description, design and operating effectiveness of control. Okay, that also we know. APP Limited has also outsourced the material part of the payroll to the Messrs SMP and Associates. It means ENN is using the services of APP and APP further outsourced it to SMP. Now tell me, what is SMP? SMP is a service organization or sub-service organization? Everyone, write in the chat box. SMP is a service organization or sub-service organization? SMP is a service organization or sub-service organization? Sub-service organization. Are you getting the point? So it is directly a question of 402. In such a way that it is sub-service organization. The type 2 report which was provided by the APP Limited was based on the carve-out method as specified under section SA 402. Now what the question is trying to tell, CA Raman while reviewing the unmodified report, CA Raman, the one CA, the user entities auditor CA Raman, while reviewing the unmodified report drafted by his audit assistant found that reference has been made to the work done by service auditor. CA Raman hence asked his assistant to remove such reference and modify the report accordingly. Comment whether CA Raman is correct in removing the reference to the work done by the auditor or not. Answer is yes. Answer is 120% yes. Should I give you the clarity on that? Now see. Now question number 13, part B. SA 402. What is SA 402? Auditor's consideration relating to entity using services of service organization. Here there is one paragraph in our standard called responsibility of user auditor. Responsibility of user auditor. So remember one thing, if the user auditor is giving unmodified report. If the user auditor is giving which report? Gives unmodified report, means what? Clean report. Then in that case, there is no need to refer service auditor's work and name in audit report. Are you getting the point? Law says that when the user auditor is giving an unmodified report, then the service auditor's work is not required to be referred, or his name not required to be referred in the auditor's report unless required by law. Unless required by law. And if the user auditor is giving modified report, then it is mandatory to refer service auditor's work and name, because service auditor is the best person to make users understand modifications. Correct, everyone? I hope you all know this paragraph in our essay 402. So as per 402, if you are giving unmodified report, no need to require to mention the service auditor's work. But if you are giving modified report, then you have to mention. Now, as per our question, Raman while reviewing, what is the question saying? Raman while reviewing unmodified audit report drafted by assistant found that a reference has been made to the work done by the service auditor. Therefore, service auditor's work is not required to be referred when you are giving a unmodified audit report. Therefore, Mr. Raman was correct. Mr. Raman was justified in removing the name or removing the work of service auditor from his report. Right, CC, if you all understood. Right, CC, if you all understood from which point of view the question has been asked. Everyone write CC if you all understood from which point of view the question has been asked. I hope every one of you is crystal clear. It's a very simple question. Everyone is crystal clear? Yes. So this is a question of unmodified report. Therefore, service auditor's work is not required to be referred. Therefore, that is the reason Mr. Raman is correct in removing the name of the word, the service auditor, from his report. Everyone crystal clear? Right, everyone? Yes. Everyone understood. Like the video if you want. Hit the like button if you want. If you think that this is justified. Okay, let us understand question number 14A. Petro Limited is engaged in a generation of electricity for captive consumption. It is engaged in the generation of electricity for captive consumption through captive generation plant. The company also maintains the cost record. So whenever the word cost record is coming, one thing comes to your mind. Section number 148. What is section number 148? It is nothing but cost audit. Section number 148 talks about what? Cost audit. Clear? So what they are saying, cost records and audit rules. Mr. Zylo, the friend of managing director of the company, suggested the name of his brother, who is going to be a chartered cost accountant in practice, for the purpose of cost audit. However, the statutory auditor of the company is of the view that company is not legally required to conduct a cost audit. Now the managing director is in the dilemma about the requirement of cost audit or not. Being an expert in cost records and cost audit rules, you are required to guide in this regard. Now listen to this very, very carefully. It's a very simple question. Even a nursery standard student can do this question. So question number 14, part A. First of all, remember one thing. Section number 148 talks about which audit? Cost audit. And section number 148, which talks about the cost audit, says that there are following exceptions to whom the cost audit is not applicable. It means section 148 also talks about non-applicability of cost audit. What are the cases? If you are operating from SEZ, Special Economic Zone, and if your export turnover is more than 75%, if the more than 75% of export turnover is in a foreign currency, is in a which currency? Foreign currency. If more than 75% of your export turnover is in which currency? Foreign currency, no cost audit required. If you are operating from special economic zone, no cost audit is required. If you are a SME, small medium enterprise, no cost audit is required. And if you are if you are a 100% EOU, export oriented undertaking, no cost audit required. And if you are a company having your own power plant, and using such power for captive consumption, using such power for which consumption? Captive consumption, then also you are not required to do an audit. Now in the question, what is written in the question? They have already mentioned what they mentioned. Let us see. They have said the company is engaged in generation of electricity for captive consumption. It means company is having its own power plant and generating the captive consumption. So they asked you as an expert whether the audit is required or not. So answer here is yes. Statutory auditor is correct that cost audit is not required. It is exempted under section 148. Everyone write CC. Everyone write CC if you all understood this question also. Yes. So this brings an end to the question. Yes. So let us move to the next question. Next question. AKB Associates, a renowned audit firm in the field of CA practice for the past 2 decades. The firm was appointed as a statutory auditor of Rika Limited, an unlisted company which is engaged in the business of paper manufacturing. It is decided to commence the audit for the recently concluded financial year. Okay. Once after making the significant progress in the auditor makes the following observations. So what are the 2 observations made by the auditor? Observation number 1. Management has disclosed in the financials that during the year one of the warehouse of the company was affected due to the major flood. Flood came and one of the warehouse was affected. As a result of the same, company has incurred some losses, but such management was of the view that it was not material. So they say that losses are there, but they are not material. And due to the flood, few records maintained by the company with respect to a particular transaction completely destroyed, and there was no duplicate records. इसका मतलब this is a complete case of non-availability of audit evidence. However, those details were not persuasive but material. You will be required to advise in whether AKB Associates should do in what they should do in observation 1 and observation 2. Now let me tell you one thing. Looking at the observation 1, it is not a case of 705. It is not a case of modified report. It is a case of 706. It is a case of what? 706. Why it is a case of 706? Emphasis matters paragraph or others matters paragraph. Now tell me, why do we include the EMP and OMP in our auditor's report? We include the EMP and OMP in the auditor's report for the better understanding of the users of financial statement. Management has already disclosed in its financials. EMP says that if the management has already disclosed in its financial statements, and there in the question it is written that management has already disclosed. So management has already disclosed in its financial statement, as well as they have already adjusted also in their financial statement. It is just the auditor's responsibility to include an EMP paragraph. In the observation 1, the auditor should include the EMP paragraph for the better understanding of the users of financial statement. Why? Because management has also the point of view that the loss is not material. So I think in the observation 1, as an auditor, you should include 706. You should include what? 706 EMP paragraph. Emphasis matters paragraph. But in the observation number 2, due to the flood, few records maintained by the company with respect to particular transaction was completely destroyed, and there was no duplicate records maintained by the company. However, those details were not pervasive, but what? Material. They are saying that records were destroyed and there is no duplicate record, but they are also of the opinion that they are pervasive but not material. And here there is a non-availability of SAAE. Do you all agree with that or not? Here there is a non-availability of sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. So definitely either the qualified will come or disclaimer will come as per 705. Either qualified will come, disclaimer. But generally when the disclaimer comes, when the non-availability of sufficient and appropriate audit evidences are material as well as what? Pervasive. Both are there. Materiality is also there. Pervasiveness is also there. But qualified is given when the non-availability of SAAE is material but not pervasive. So if you don't know this answer, I will suggest you that go for SS 705 revised. So if you'll read the SS 705, you will find that in case there's a non-availability of the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences, there will be two options, either qualified or disclaimer. But disclaimer to be given when the materiality and pervasiveness both are there. But the qualified report is to be given when the materiality is there but pervasiveness is not there. So what is my conclusion? What is my conclusion to question number 14, part B? In the observation number 1, 706 is to be applicable and EMP paragraph is required. And in the observation number 2, 705 will be applicable and qualified report is to be issued. Everyone write CC if you all understood. Everyone write CC if you all understood. Yes, everyone. Am I correct? I hope everyone is crystal clear. Yes, everyone. Yes, sir. We are clear. Now, question number 15. What is question number 15? Master FCA and Associate Chartered Accountant. Okay, this question is relating to Audit Committee and Corporate Governance chapter. Highly important question and highly important chapter. Messrs FCA and Associates. Messrs FCA and Associate Chartered Accountant is one of the leading audit firms in the Guwahati. The firm received an assignment to examine the compliance relating to LODR, listing obligation and disclosure requirements of the corporate governance of ABC Limited. So, Messrs FCA and Associates have been appointed to observe the LODR regulations of a listed entity, right? And this listed entity, very important point, this listed entity is not having any outstanding special rights equity shares. It is not having any outstanding special right equity shares. So you might have seen that in your ICAI study material, which is applicable for May 2020. There are so many amendments came relating to a company with outstanding special right equity shares. So they have specially said that it is a company without any special rights, right or not? The firm had made the following observation. So I will give you the answer there itself on the RTP only. Mr. Fine, one of the director of the company, also the chairman of the stakeholders relationship company. He is a chairman of the stakeholders relationship committee. So I think that directors of the listed company can become the members in the audit committee and stakeholders relationship committee, not more than 10 committees. They can become the members in not more than 10 committees, if you remember, and they cannot hold the chairmanship in not more than 5 committees. So he is already a chairman of a stakeholders relationship committee and also acting as a audit committee chairman in the 4 other listed companies as well and 1 private company. So look at that. What they are saying actually, Mr. Fine is already a chairman. So this question is relating to chairmanship. So Mr. Fine, a director, cannot hold more than 5 chairmanships. That we already know under the audit committee and corporate governance. He is already a chairman of stakeholders relationship committee and he is also a chairman of, yes, he is already a chairman of stakeholder relationship committee. He is also a chairman of 4 listed companies as well as he is also a chairman of 1 private company. And let me tell you one thing, section 8 company and private company and foreign companies are not included in the limit. So 1 is not required. It means 1 plus 4, total 5. It means he is within the regulation, yes. So observation 1 says that yes, compliance is there. There is no problem in that. Yes, compliance is there. So in the observation number 1, compliance is there. Everyone write CC if you all understood. Everyone write CC if you all understood. So in the observation number 1, compliance is there. What is observation number 2? Nomination and remuneration committee consisting of 6 members which regularly met biannually. No. Nomination and remuneration committee should be held at least 1 time in a year. In 1 year, they have to meet at least once in a year. They have to meet at least once in a year. If you see your audit committee and corporate governance, they have to meet at least once in a year. Are you getting the point? But they are meeting biannually. Once in 2 years they are meeting. Biannually means once in 2 years. They are meeting once in 2 years. Are you getting the point? So tell me, is it a compliance or non-compliance? No. No compliance here. It means LODR regulations have been violated here. In the observation 1, company, what do you say? What is the name of the company? ABC Limited is correct. But in the observation number 2, ABC Limited has violated. What is observation number 3? The risk management committee consisted of 9 members. Okay, out of which number of independent director is the majority, but it was less than 2/3 of the total stand. Now this is also very tricky question. Now this question is connected with your this point. Now see, if you're a company with outstanding special right equity shares, then in that case 2/3 of risk management committee should be independent director. If I'm not wrong, 2/3 of the risk management committee should be which directors? Independent directors. They should be independent director. But especially in the question it is written that it is a company not having any outstanding special equity right shares, so here majority also would be fine. Is fine. Sorry. So observation number 3. Observation number 3, again compliance is there. So what is your answer, everyone? In the observation number 1, compliance is there. In the observation number 2, no compliance. In the observation number 3, again compliance is there. I hope everyone is CC. Everyone is crystal clear. I hope everyone understood the concept. Right, CC, if you all understood the concept. Yes. Clear, everyone? Now let's move to the question number 16. Now question number 16 talks about the audit of banks, and one question is on insurance. So ABN was engaged in the business of providing portfolio. ABN Bank was engaged in the business of providing portfolio management services to its customers, for which it took prior approval from the RBI. Okay, so ABN Bank is providing the PMS services. What do you mean by PMS? Professional Management Services, and it has the RBI approval also. Very good. Your firm has been appointed as a statutory auditor of bank's financial statement for the year. Your senior has instructed you to verify the transactions of PMS. While verifying the transaction, you notice that the bank has not maintained separate record for PMS transaction from the bank's own investment. As a statutory auditor, what methodology will be adopted by you? Oh, that is a complete wrong thing. If you are a bank and if you are providing a portfolio management services, it is written under the audit of banks chapter. In the audit of banks chapter, it is written that if a bank is providing PMS services with RBI approval, then bank is under an obligation. Bank is under an obligation to maintain separate accounts for PMS portfolio management services for clients, investments, and its own investments. So now what the statutory auditors notice, while verifying the transaction, you notice that the bank has not maintained separate record for the PMS transaction from the bank's own investment. Therefore, they have done the violation. So my opinion, in the question number A, question number 15, part A, what is my opinion? Question number 15, question number 16, sorry, part A, what is my opinion? In the question number 16, part A, what is my opinion? Ki no. In this case, bank has violated RBI norms and bank should give one letter to auditor that there's a deficiency in their such internal controls systems, and auditor shall advise to the bank to segregate PMS services investments from its own investments. I hope everyone is crystal clear. I hope everyone is understood. Yes. Now this brings an end to our question number 16, part A. Now very easy questions in your RTP. This time RTP is not that much difficult. Very easy. Do you want me to come up with the RTP of May 2020? Please write in the chat box if you want me to come up with the RTP of May 2020 also. I will keep that class in the first week of October then. Do you want me to come up with the RTP of May 2020? I'll come up. Right? Okay. Now let us understand the question number B. Question number B. Now what is question number B? Obviously question number B is relating to this thing, insurance company. Sure. Messrs. MPS and Associates, Chartered Accountant, stated the statutory auditor of their client Contingency Limited, a general insurance company which has a paid up share capital of 16,800 crores, 16,800 lakhs. During the course of audit, it was found out that company is not maintaining its required solvency margin as per the provisions of Insurance Act. When the issue was escalated to the management, they replied that the solvency margin needs to be maintained as per the limits prescribed only on the last day of the financial year. Comment whether the reply of the management is tenable or not. No, management is completely wrong in that case. First of all, let us understand what is solvency margin. What is solvency margin, everyone? Solvency margin is that when your net value of assets minus net value of liabilities, this difference, when this figure is not less than 50% of the minimum capital required, this is called solvency margin. Right, CC, if you all understood? Right, CC, if you all understood, what do you mean by solvency margin? Right, CC, if you all understood. Net assets minus net liabilities, the figure of that net assets minus net liabilities, the excess of assets over the liabilities shall not be less than 50% of the minimum capital required. This is called solvency margin, not less than 50%. Am I correct or not? And that too, point number 2, it is to be maintained only at the end of the year or throughout the year? To be maintained. It is to be maintained throughout the year. Throughout the year. It is to be maintained throughout the year. Point number 2. Sir, we start in question of professional ethics as clause 2, first schedule of Chartered Accountants Amendment Act 2006 in this manner. Clause 2. Sir, we start in question of professional ethics as clause 2. Let me get back to you, Rahul Gupta. I didn't understand what you are trying to ask. Don't worry, just let me complete it. I'll get back to you, okay? So to be maintained throughout the year. Second thing, if they are not maintaining, it is the insurance company's duty. It is the insurance company's duty to send recovery plan to IRDA. Yes, if the IRDA thinks that your recovery plan is not suitable, it may order you to revise it. Company has to revise it. Otherwise, such insurance company will be wound up or declared insolvent by the court. I hope everyone is CC. Declared insolvent by the court. Everyone is CC? Crystal clear? Clear everyone? So this is what the answer for your 16 part B. Let's move to the question number 17. Let's move to the question number 17. Question number 17 part A. Messrs PQRS and Associates is appointed for conducting tax audit as per Income Tax Act. So obviously fiscal law question. Of a cotton textile company. The company has incurred 6 lakh towards the advertisement expenditures on brochure pamphlet published by a political party in Pune. Advise the auditor whether such expenditure should be included in the tax audit report or not. Yes, as per section 21, as per section 21A of form 3CD, in that rule number 21A, under that all the expenditures incurred towards the political party's advertisement pamphlet brochures, they're required to be given. So answer to this question is 21A of form 3CD. Everyone write CC if you all understood this question. Hi Neha Singh. Sir, please write on the whiteboard. On the blackboard you are not comfortable? Or the red color is not comfortable? Red color is not comfortable or whiteboard is not comfortable? Sure. No issues, no issues. Definitely, I'll try to write it in the white part only. Okay. Now, did you understand the 17 part A? Yeah, maybe red color. Don't worry. I'll choose the white color now. You will be comfortable. Did you all understand the question for the 17 part A? Shall we move to the 17 part B? Yes. Now, what is B? Mr. Ramanuj, a chartered accountant by profession, has been appointed as a GST auditor of ABC Limited. The management has asked Mr. Ramanuj for GST audit and to file GST. Oh my God. He is a GST auditor and management is telling Mr. Ramanuj to file the GST returns for monthly basis as well as the annual return. No. No. As per the scope of an audit of GST, as per the scope of an audit of GST, from the first 2 lines only I can give you the answer. As per the scope of audit of a GST, you are an auditor of GST. You are a GST auditor. You are not supposed to file annual returns. You are not supposed to file the monthly returns. That is purely and 100% the responsibility of whom? Management. That is purely and 100% the responsibility of whom? Management. The answer is, I think I need not read the whole question, but still, I told you that we should have a patient reading. So, Mr. Ramaju has contended that he has been appointed only for GST audit and the above are his scope limitation. Yes, he is very much correct and cannot be conducted as per the compliances and returns to be filed by the management. In this context of above, you have to suggest whether contention of Ramanuj is correct or not. Yes, it is correct. It is correct, everyone. You please look at the answers later on from the RTP. You look at the answers later on from the RTP and cross verify whether we are going correct or not. Yes, look at the answer from the RTP later on. I hope all of you understood. I hope all of you understood this point. Yes. So as a GST auditor, you are not supposed to file monthly returns and you are not supposed to file annual returns. They both are the responsibilities of management. Clear, everyone? They both are the responsibilities of whom? Management. Right, CC, if you all understood. Right, CC, if you all understood. Please like the video if you all thought that it is worthful to watch this particular video. And I welcome you all to the Unacademy platform again. So Unacademy has taken a very good initiative to provide you the special classes. These special classes are completely free of cost. I have also launched my rapid revision batch of 40 hours. You can go to the Unacademy, find out the name CA Rohit Grover. There you can find my rapid revision batch on advanced auditing and professional ethics. And if you want, you can subscribe it also. By using my name or my code, you will be getting the 10% discount on the Unacademy. Clear, everyone? Yes. Okay, let's move to the question number 18. Now question number 18 is relating to APK Bank Limited received an application from a pharmaceutical company for takeover of their outstanding term loan secured on its assets. Okay, there is one pharmaceutical company. And it wants the APK Bank to take over their loans which are secured on assets availed from an outstanding with a nationalized bank. So from the nationalized bank, they want to transfer their loan to the APK Bank, which is secured on the assets of pharmaceutical company. Okay, APK Bank Limited requires you to conduct a due diligence. Very simple. Very simple. Question number, I think now you will be satisfied. Question number, I think 18. Question number 18 mein, what are the due diligence points? You have to keep it in mind. Point number 1, you have to verify their assets. We have to verify their assets. Right or not? In the point number 2, you have to verify that their inventories are not overpriced. Their inventories are not overpriced or overvalued. Clear? Now basically what is the intention here is, here the intention is ki in this case the due diligence person, the chartered accountant who is doing the due diligence, has to verify that the assets which the pharmaceutical company is showing to the APK Bank Limited, that assets are not overvalued. Are you getting now? For that, the chartered accountant is doing the due diligence on the pharmaceutical company. Inventories are not overpriced, or you can say that fixed assets are not overvalued. You have to verify all that. Fixed assets should not be overvalued. You have to see that if they have written the investments at cost, if they have valued the investments, at cost, see that whether the NRV, see that if the NRV is less than cost. If the NRV is less than cost, it means they are trying to overvalue their investments also. Are you getting the point? Then you have to see that their plant and machinery should not be obsolete. The plant and machinery should not be obsolete in the terms of asset, and most importantly in the inventory there shall not be any dead stock, or there should not be any slow moving stock, because if there is a dead stock or slow moving stock, what will happen in that case? Your inventory is going to be overvalued. I hope everyone is crystal clear. Everyone is crystal clear. This is what the answer to the due diligence. I hope everyone is crystal clear. This is the answer for your due diligence. Okay. This is the answer for the due diligence. Please let me know if you all understood. Yes. So let us move to the question number 19 now. Question number 19 is relating to professional ethics. Ready? So what is the question number 19 is talking about? Question number 19 is saying that, now very careful, this question is very tricky. You have to be very careful. CA Srishti and CA Mishti are the two partners of the firm Srishti, Mishti and Associates. CA Srishti and CA Mishti are the two partners of a CA firm Srishti, Mishti and Associates. Being very pious, CA Srishti organized a religious ceremony for her home. So she has bought the home, she has organized a religious ceremony for which she instructed her printing agent to add her designation chartered accountant with his name on the invitation card. So when we talk about the invitation cards, directly our mind should go to clause number 6 part 1 of schedule 1. Clause number 6 part 1 of schedule 1 of CA Act 19 of schedule 1 of CA Act 1949. Because clause 6 of part 1 of schedule 1 talks about what? It talks about the soliciting the work, and there you have the invitation letters. What you can do on invitation letters? Later on, the invitations were distributed to all relative close friends and clients of the both partners. Let me give you what is the point of discussion here. Let me give you what is the point of discussion here. ICAI, as per clause number 6, part 1, schedule 1. ICAI, as per clause number 6, part 1, schedule 1 of the CA Act 1949 says that ki yes, invitation letters are allowed, and on the invitation letters your designation and your firm name is also allowed, but make sure that you are sending it to your close friends, relatives, and very important points, to the clients, close clients of concerned member only. Concerned member only. What do you mean by clients of concerned member only? Who has requested to write her designation? CA Srishti has requested to write her designation. And while sending this invitation, there is no problem in writing the designation chartered accountant. But this invitation was sent to the relatives, which is allowed, close friends, and the clients of both the partners. No, not allowed. If she wants to send the invitation letter, she can send it to only her clients. She can send it to only her clients. She is not allowed to send it to the both the partners' clients. Are you getting the point? So in this case, yes, CA Shrishti is guilty of PM, professional misconduct, right or not? Under Schedule 1, Part 1. Everyone write CC if you all understood. No. Friends can be there, relatives can be there, but clients of both the parties she has sent. She should have sent it only to her clients. I hope all of you are understanding the provision. Yes, Ratnagiri, you are very much fine. Correct. I hope all of you understood the question. So tell me, CA Shrishti is guilty or not guilty? Everyone write the answer. CA Shrishti is guilty or not guilty? CA Shrishti is guilty because she has sent it to the clients of both the partner. Will your answer change if she has sent it to only the partner of? Will your answer change if she has sent it only to the partner of, only to the clients of her only? Yes. Will your answer change if she is sending to the clients of her only? Then in that case, she will not be guilty. Then in that case, she will not be guilty. I think all of you understood. Now let us see the question number 2. Mr. Preeto, a chartered accountant. Mr. Preeto, a chartered accountant, had an account with the bank. The normal balance in the account remained level below 5,000. This bank inadvertently credited this account with a check. Okay. So Miss Preeto, a chartered accountant, was having a bank account in which she was maintaining very less amount of balance, and bank by mistake credited one check of 2,70,000 in her bank account. When CA Preeto came to know about, she withdraw the amount of 2,75,000. When she came to know that 5,000 her amount and 2,75,000 any wrong credit came to her account, she withdrawn that amount and immediately closed the bank account. After 1 year, bank noticed the mistake and claimed 2,75,000. CA Preeto contested this claim. Can the bank approach the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India for the disciplinary action? Answer is yes. My question is very much simple. Is it a question of professional misconduct or is it a question of other misconduct? Is it a question of professional misconduct or other misconduct? Please write the answer carefully. Is it a question of professional misconduct or other misconduct? And if it is a question of professional misconduct or other misconduct, which schedule? Schedule 1 or Schedule 2? Give me the answer. This is a question of other misconduct, guys. There is no such kind of whether Miss Preeto is bringing the disrespect to the reputation of ICAI Institute or not. Is she doing something which is bringing the disrepute? Is she doing something which is bringing the disrepute to the ICAI or not? Yes. So this is a other misconduct under clause number 2 of part number 4 of schedule 1. This is a other misconduct under clause number 2 of part number 4 of schedule number 1. Clear everyone? Bringing disrespect. Yes. Clear everyone? And let us see the last question. CA Moni is practicing since 2009 in the field of company audit. Due to her good practical knowledge, she was offered a editorship of a company audit journal, which she accepted. However, she did not take any permission. Array not required. Professional journals. If you are an editor of a professional journals, then 190A regulation of clause 11 of part 1 of schedule 1 says that permission not required. It is generally granted. First of all, the special permission is not required. She need not take any kind of permission. It is generally granted. Yes, if she will adopt or if she will accept the editorship of non-professional journals, then under regulation number 191 of clause 11 of part 1 of schedule 1 of CA Act 1949, she needs to take a permission. I hope everyone is CC. So this is 1111. Everything is 11. Everything is 1. 1111. Everyone is crystal clear? Everyone is crystal clear? Right, CC, if you all understood? Right, CC, if you all understood? Yes. So we are on the last question. What is the last question? Selection of sample by the reviewer in the case of peer review. Selection of sample by the reviewer in case of what? Peer review. Now, you all know peer review is a very important chapter. Now, what the peer reviewer will do? So, in the case of peer review, he may select the samples on the basis of information on assurance services provided by practicing unit. Am I correct or not? And point number 2, it may also conduct on-site review. But the peer reviewer must give 15 days at least. At least 15 days must be given to the practicing unit to arrange the records. Right or not? To arrange the records, and most importantly, within 90 days, the whole peer review must be completed. Everyone write CC if you all understood? Everyone write CC if you all understood? Yes. Everyone write CC if you all understood? Yes. So we are left with the 3 more parts, that is called B, C and D, that we'll discuss in the next video. Are you getting the point? So day after tomorrow we are going to discuss the MCQs. As per my schedule, we are going to discuss the MCQs on company audit. Day after tomorrow on the YouTube live, we are going to discuss the MCQs on company audit. So there in the first 2-3 minutes, I'll discuss the remaining part B, part C and part D. Right, B, C and D is left. Anyways, you can see the answer and you can, these are very plain short note answers. I hope it will not be difficult for you to see the answers in this way. I hope today I justified your expectations in the RTP discussion part 2. I hope everyone liked it. If all of you liked it, please hit the like button on the video. If you all understood, please share this video to maximum of your friends if you all liked it. I hope all of you understood today's concept very clearly. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming to the class, and it was lovely teaching you all. So I will take your leave. So thanks for lending your patient ears, and I'll borrow it again tomorrow. So remember one thing, tomorrow same time 5:30 to 6:30 I'm going to be live on Unacademy, and where our lecture number 2 on marathon revision of professional ethics is going to be there. Those who have not seen the lecture number 1, they can go there and access that lecture. And lecture number 2 or marathon revision of professional ethics is going to be there tomorrow, not on YouTube live. It is going to be on Unacademy live. It is going to be on Unacademy live, right sir? Thank you so much everyone for coming to the class. Raghu, can you explain the peer review? Okay, Raghu, peer review is a very simple concept. Once the peer reviewer asks the list of services, list of assurance accounting services with the practicing unit is providing, now on the basis of that list he will select a sample of those assurances services which he is going to test. Are you getting the point? Peer reviewer is going to test not all the assurance services. He is going to test some of the assurance services. Are you getting the point? He is going to test the some of the assurance services, and after selecting a sample, if he want to increase the sample or decrease the sample, he may give this information again. He may give this information again to the to the practicing unit, and after that he can call to the practicing unit ki sir, I would like to have an on-site review. So it can do the on-site review also, but when you are doing the on-site review, whatever the documents or records you want to verify, you have to give the 15 days of minimum time period to the practicing unit so that they can arrange all those records, and make sure that within 90 days of total starting time, the whole peer review concept must be completed. Clear everyone? I hope now you understood, Rahul, Raghu, right? So thank you so much everyone for coming to the class. I'll take your leave, and thanks a lot for showering your love and affection. See you guys day after tomorrow on YouTube, and tomorrow on Unacademy live session again at 5:30 to